Welcome to Melly's Meals. I'm Melissa, and I'm going to show you how to cook a really simple tuna casserole. It's going to take probably 20 minutes, maybe just a little bit more, so let's get our aprons on and get cooking. Here we go. Okay, so I want to start by showing you what you need to get from your pantry and your fridge. So come on over here. It's really easy. All you need is a can of mushroom soup, tuna, of course. I use these cloverleaf silverlight tuna and olive oil because I think it tastes really good. A red onion, a red pepper, some mushrooms, some peas, some sour cream, some milk, and some cheese, and our little seasoning. Salt and pepper. I love using this vegetable grill from Clubhouse. It's my favorite seasoning. It's so nice. I'm not getting sponsored by these people, by the way, but this is my favorite one, so it provides a really nice flavor. It's really easy to use. And then some chicken base, okay? All right, so here we go. Turn on your water, get the hot water going, because we've got to get our water boiling. That's what I always do first, is boil the water for our pasta. And then while you're cooking everything else, your pasta gets cooked, and it's just so fast and easy. Okay. That looks good. So put that on the stove, and I just throw some salt in there to get the water tasting nice. And now we're going to get going. Turn on your oven because we're going to need to bake this for a little while. 375, start, put the light on. It's going. So this is what I'm going to bake everything in once we're ready to go. Here we are. A little olive oil into your pan. And let's chop up our onion. Okay, so I'm going to make this for 2 people. So that's how much, I'm going to use vegetables for 2. But if you have a larger family, whatever, obviously just double up on your veggies. So I usually do about 3 slices like that. Okay, and then just chop them into small pieces. And I don't know if you noticed, I turned my heat on before I started chopping this onion because I want to get my pan nice and hot. Okay, so in they go. That's that. My water's making weird noises. Can you hear that? Okay, and then I have like 3/4 of a pepper left, so I'm gonna chop up, I guess that's 2/3. I'm gonna chop 1/3 of it. Just take the seeds out. And you can admire my professional knife skills. I do this. I'm just an amateur cook, but I love cooking very much. I find it's a huge stress reliever, and that's moving around, so I'm gonna solve that problem by getting, what do you call this thing? A rag, and I wet it, and I'm going to put it underneath my cutting board because it's moving around all over the place. And now it won't. So if you run into that problem, you can fix it that way. All right, here we go. Let's chop these guys up. So I'm just going to put them into small, bite-sized pieces. At the end of a nice long day, I actually find at the end of a day of work, I love coming into the kitchen to cook. I find it extremely relaxing because I know at the end of it I'm going to have something yummy for dinner. Okay, so that's about 1/4 to 1/3 of a pepper. Just pop it in there. My pan's finally getting hot. I think I need to turn it up just a little. It's on about medium heat. That's starting to sizzle a little bit. If you like garlic, you could put a clove of garlic in there too, but I prefer this without garlic. So, okay, so we're gonna put those to the side. Now, my water's just about boiling, so I'm gonna get my noodles. I like to use egg noodles for this particular dish because I think it kind of just gives it a nice little bite. So, for 2 people, I keep mine stored in here. I just grab a handful. That's my measurement is a handful of noodles. So I'd usually do about 5 handfuls of noodles. I'm just going to give that a second longer to get going. All right. And I just wanted to tell you, if you're new to cooking or you kind of feel like a little shy in the kitchen, just experiment, have a little fun. It's great. I find it so much. Okay, so here's a handful of noodles. If you want to measure this out precisely, I don't know, like 85 times 5, 85 grams of noodles, and I times that by 5. That's about 2 healthy servings. I don't know, am I on 5? I lost track. Something like that. So my pot's about that full. Okay, so that's your noodles. Give them a little stir. And we'll let that boil, kind of somewhat forget about it. Okay, so now I gotta chop up my mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, just leave this out or substitute it with something like broccoli maybe. That would taste nice. So I usually cut the ends off and then just chop them in half. Chop them like that. So this time I got whole mushrooms. Sometimes I get the ones that are already cut, you know. So obviously this part's a little faster if they're cut already. But even so, this doesn't take long at all. So I'll usually use about, I don't know, 8 of these guys, I guess. So I think I already did 2 or 3. So that's that. Cut the end off. And again, if you're new to this, just chop it in half this way and then turn it so that you can chop through it and make it into bite-sized pieces. So watch your fingers, of course. I can hear my onions and pepper starting to sizzle a little bit. So that's good. And I'm going to check my heat once I get back over there with these mushrooms. Pasta's boiling. And you know, I'm using cream of mushroom soup today, but really you can use anything. I've made this with cream of cauliflower. That tastes nice. If I had cauliflower in my fridge, I probably would have used some. I mean cream of celery. Celery's nice to put with this fish. Okay, so that looks like a nice amount of mushrooms, so I'm just going to dump that into my pan. I do like to get these more firm vegetables going a little bit first. Yeah. And right, let's put those in. There we go. Now, this is usually when I add a little bit of salt, pinch of salt, a little bit more, because I find that salt and some pepper. I use ground pepper. If you don't have a pepper grinder like this, just use regular old pepper from the shaker, that's fine. I tend to like a lot because I feel like it brings up the flavor. There we go, give it a stir, and then you'll probably notice that it's going to start to smell pretty fragrant. Alright, so we just need to let that go for a while till the veggies cook. Okay, I'm going to give my noodles a stir. I just use the same stirring utensil, that's fine. Alright, so while that's cooking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up all the cans and stuff. Put my vegetables away. By the way, if you want a little trick to keep your mushrooms fresh a little longer, even if it's in one of those smaller containers, take the mushrooms out and put some paper towel on the bottom, and it'll collect the moisture, and then they'll stay fresh way longer. I do that with my lettuce too, and it stays much longer. So that's a little trick. This is starting to look good. If you want to take a look in here, the mushrooms are starting to get a little bit more cooked, and everything's looking great. All right, mushroom soup. Let's open that up. I'm imagining that you have your laptop set up beside me on your countertop and you're cooking with me, and I hope you're having fun if that's what you're doing. I'm with you. This is not, you know, it's something that's pretty simple, and I think it tastes really, really nice. So it's at this point when the vegetables oh, my oven's preheated. Turn my water down a little bit. I usually add my clubhouse seasoning now, and you're probably going to think, Whoa, that's a lot. Maybe it is, but this is how you get it to taste really good. So this is not a precise measurement. It's until it looks like it's a lot, okay? And then give that a stir. And I like to let that kind of cook into the vegetables. This is starting to look really good, so I just stirred my tuna in there. It's getting hot. I've got my strainer ready because my noodles are cooked, so I'm gonna drain those guys. And then just let them sit there. I won't need those for a minute. Okay, now we just dumped the can of soup in there. We're gonna get that hot. Okay. Stir it in. You're gonna add about a quarter of a cup of sour cream. Stir that in. Bring that up to where it just starts to kind of bubble again. That'll just take a few minutes. Trust me, I know it doesn't look exactly appetizing at this stage, but it really tastes so nice once it's all put together. Okay, it's starting to smell really good. The sour cream really adds a nice little touch. Okay, here's where I will add a chicken bouillon cube. If you have the powdery stuff, you just use your powdery stuff, okay? So break that into there. You don't have to use this bouillon cube. I like the way it tastes though. So that'll start to dissolve on its own. Here's where I'm going to turn my heat up just a teeny bit. Get my peas ready. We're going to go with a cup of peas. Frozen peas. Ah, okay, that guy wants to join the party, so we'll let him. Okay. Pick that guy up later. Okay, here we go. We're boiling again. All right. So now we're going to throw these peas in there. Get them nice and hot. Now it's starting to look like tuna casserole. Yummy. Mmm. Can throw the noodles in now. Give them a mix. Mmm, that looks good. And that's going to start to sizzle again a little bit. So what I like to do right now is give it a little taste just to see what's going on. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Tastes really good, actually. Now we put a little bit of cheese. Mmm, that's so good. Yummy. I better measure this for you. So we're going to go with a cup of cheese. This is shredded nacho blend. Yeah, I'd say we'll put that in. If you don't want that much, then just cut that in half to half a cup. It just kind of gives it a nice cheesy flavor. All right, that is that. Now sometimes I add a little bit of milk at this point. I'm going to say like a quarter of a cup, just to thin it out a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. That's all you need. Cheese is looking stringy. Mmm. So if you don't want to bake it, you can eat it just like this, and we often do just have it like that. But today I decided I'm going to bake it. So we're just going to transfer it over to this oven safe pot. Put it in there. Mmm, that looks really, really good. we'll just sprinkle a little bit of cheese on the top. Oops. Spread that out. Doesn't that look yummy? And then we'll put the lid on it and we'll bake it for about 20 minutes. Just till the cheese melts and it starts to bubble up. I'm going to put it in there with the lid on for about 15 minutes and then check it and then take the lid off for the last 5 minutes. Okay, it's just about time to open up the oven and check my meal out. Tuna casserole is almost ready to go. So I hope you got your dishes done and I hope you've got your appetite on. We are ready to check it out. 30 more seconds, but I think I'm gonna just turn that off. I know it's done because I can smell it. So that's another way you can kind of tell, oh, this looks really nice. Yeah, here we go. Voila. Tuna casserole with melted cheese on the top. Once it's bubbling, she's ready to go. So I'm gonna dish some out and show you what it looks like. Be sure to use your oven mitts because that's gonna be very hot. That looks so nice. Smells delicious. There we go. Let's give that a try. Cheesy, yum. That one's really, really good. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun. Bye.